Rubble.
Wrote on this thing.
Yeah, are we going to get a Hamburglar's birthday celebration or some
What would
shit
his
now?
be?
Like, well, we're going to squeeze this or whatever. Now
So we're
invented
gonna start
reminiscing.
selling chocolate chip cookie dough, or Oreo cookie dough milkshakes, and just have it.
Sounds really
Cookies are good.
good.
Yeah,
I used to
because
bake
the
cookies
black
on a
and white
pretty
color of his
regular
outfit.
basis. That shit back.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like I'm missing something.
Oh no.
You might want to. I don't know if that,
Right on.
I didn't turn the light on because I wasn't sure. We were
now.
get started and stuff.
Missing something. I don't know what it is.
I don't know. I
got that.
Spectacles,
It's the old man. It's the hands, shoulders, knees, and toes. It's
Spectacles, testicles, wallet, watch.
keys, and
Spectacles, testicles, wallet, watch.
spectacles.
Testicles, wallet, and watch. Yeah.
There you go.
That was how Austin Powers did it anyhow.
Well, he didn't have a cell phone back then.
This is true. That was mid 90s. Yeah, mid to late 90s.
Yeah, geez, remember such a time, fellas.
Before the days of social
Bonkers.
media.
Bonkers.
Before phones had
I had a
cameras on
beeper
them.
for a second.
Yeah,
I did too.
Yeah.
I actually had one of those beeper watches, man, because I
That's
wanted
cool.
to be like Michael Knight.
Is that what Michael Knight had?
Well, he had like a two-way communicator.
Nice.
Dick Tracy. Now you got the Apple. I've got
Between
an
him and
Apple
the car,
Watch.
him.
I can do that with
yeah,
my-
was there another human being in Knight Rider, or was it just Michael in the
Well,
car?
it was the
Well,
old
he
man
had
and
the
the
team.
female
Dude,
assistant.
okay.
Yeah.
She wasn't an assistant. She was the engineer who worked on the kit.
Yeah, whatever she was. And then they never showed the truck driver.
Oh,
Yeah.
Drove the big, the big
rig.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen an episode.
Teamster should have.
You've never watched an
I don't
episode
think
of Knight
I've
Rider?
ever watched an episode of Knight Rider. Yeah.
Oh man, you can't get anything better than that kind of
It
80s
seems
cheese.
super duper high echelon for the times.
Yeah.
Right?
It wasn't-
fits
nah,
all of the
nah.
criteria for that time, right? It's
I wouldn't say that. It was definitely
Seems like
cheeseball
it's huge.
stuff for sure.
Oh, right on. But it's for kids, right? I mean,
I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, as much as the A-Team was.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody ever died when people were being shot at by
Sure. They just duck behind
high
something.
capacity rifles and stuff.
Sure, which is
Hand
fine,
grenades.
man. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mom used to make a homemade
That's all.
pizza on Sundays because she got a Cuisinart and she could do everything in there. And then she would make the homemade pizza, and my brother and I would go down and watch Knight Rider
geez, that's
and
great.
have our pizza.
Yeah.
That's a great childhood memory, right?
Why would you have done that in the summertime, perhaps?
Well, no, but it would have been rerun season. But
I was going to try to tie it in with our paywall.
oh yeah,
Top five.
and I blew it, Mike. I apologize. Oh my goodness.
Well, the magical music is.
Where is that coming from? Gee, I wonder.
It's the ether. It's what Tesla talked about.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Hey,
Yeah, so Todd, you let us know when we can kick off. Let's see, it's episode 30. Are we
Wow.
dude, we're
Jeez.
dirty 30.
Ah,
30,
gentlemen.
man.
Gentlemen.
ready? In our
Feeling-
30s now. That's
Yes.
just crazy talk.
Yeah, what that
jeez.
means is nobody can trust us now, right?
Anybody over 30?
Is that what- yeah. I don't know who had that slogan. Some
That was
young,
that was
young and
like wasn't that Woodstock people?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
You know,
And they're all
the
either
hippies.
dead or in their 70s,
yeah, they're
right?
all-
And they all voted for Trump, I'm sure.
Oh,
Yeah,
jeez, who
a few
knows?
of them.
I know my uncle did, and he was a hippie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, never trust.
But
I don't know.
Anyways.
Well, good day, everybody,
everybody.
and welcome to Our Town Podcast.
Episode 30.
3-0.
Coming to you from the historic Renton Civic
Yeah.
Theatre in beautiful downtown
Downtown
Renton.
Yeah,
And it is
yeah.
mid-July-ish?
Yeah.
Early July?
Yeah.
I don't know. What do we consider this? Almost
This
mid-July?
is July 12th, so I
Okay.
mean we're
Yeah.
kind of halfway through, right?
Yeah,
close enough.
for Renton, this is summer.
This summer, man.
Yeah.
Summertime.
I don't know if mics are picking up, but we have a fan on stage because it's kind of
It's a
muggy.
little
It's a little muggy.
Oh, yeah, I'm glad that Charles is on the the collecting end of both of us.
Is that what that?
I could have
is that
paid
what that
for
is? I thought somebody left a sandwich backstage. Or
Oh
something.
boy, Alberto! Moskowitz smells like joiky.
Oh my goodness! And because I ruined Mike's thing earlier, we are doing our favorite summertime top 5 memories of all time in the bonus round.
Yes.
And I'm sure most of them will be our
Make sure you
adulthood when we
subscribe to
work,
the
right?
bonus by going to our website, right?
Yeah, go to r-townpodcast.com so you can subscribe and get in and see this wonderful bonus content.
Yes. Also, if you're not already following us on social medias, it's just at Our Town Pod and on Facebook and Instagram. So
Do it.
Yeah, and like and subscribe and give us a good rating and these things, right?
Well, in honor of summer, tonight's safe word is wine cooler.
Oh,
You remember Bartles and James?
yeah.
Bartles and James.
Why,
were
no, I
Seagrams
don't.
And all.
Oh wait, that was a different commercial entirely.
Oh no, they were great, man.
they were
Pepperidge
great.
Farms, remember?
But they'll get you sick the next day.
You'll be-
But
Isn't
it's
that
well
yeah,
worth it.
but that's
alcohol
well
with
worth it.
copious
Oh, yeah,
amounts of
totally
sugar
worth
in it?
yeah.
I mean, astounding amounts of sugar.
It's
like-
amounts.
But they're
like-
lightly fortified wine coolers as opposed to like the heavily
It's a hangover in a
fortified
can,
like
right?
the Mad Dog.
Yeah, oof, man.
Or no, those were bottles. So it was a hangover in a bottle,
I went
right?
through a moment with that shit. Yeah, I did like. Yeah, I mean, Bartles and James. They're not, a tough guy drink, but man, they get the job.
Hey, you know
done.
what?
It
By-
depends on
by-
what you're looking
Mike-
for out of life.
Mike, by comparison to like today's hard seltzers,
Oh, jeez.
it's definitely a biker's drink.
Fair enough. I've never had like a White Claw type thing.
Yeah, that's
I've
what I'm
never
talking
had
about.
one. I've never.
Yeah,
had,
it's kind of
I can kind of imagine what's going on there, but I've never had one.
yeah. I suspect that Kid Rock actually probably drinks a lot of White Claw these days.
Yeah, probably. Bartles and James seem like the two old guys sitting outside a Georgia market playing checkers all day, right? Bitching about the world.
With moonshine, right?
With moonshine.
Protected by like explosives. They're
And-
total fucking bonkers, dude. But they're the old guys outside playing checkers.
The boomer version of Beavis and Butthead.
Playing checkers, drinking moonshine, making fun of hippies
the
because
old
somebody
guys-
had sideburns.
the
or
old
something.
guys-
Yeah. Their hair wasn't just like buzz.
The old guys from the Muppet Show.
It's got a ducktail or something. They're like Fanny shit of the modern era.
Let's shave his head.
Yeah.
Probably making fun of people of color and stuff.
Get a job and cut your hair, you damn hippie.
Not
Yeah.
disparaging
Yeah, James,
Bartles.
that was a whole-
God rest their
Yeah.
souls wherever they're
Bartles and James,
Yeah.
Bartles and or James.
But I do have speaking of wine coolers, I have a couple of fun urine fun facts for you. And I don't know why I'm sharing these. I just came across them and thought they were
Urine?
fascinating.
Urine
It's all
fun
about
facts?
urine.
Fun facts?
So, speaking of wine coolers, fun fact number 1. Camel piss is the thickness and consistency of maple syrup.
I didn't need nor did I want to hear that.
Yeah.
Jeez, I can't believe that
Never
I've
knew
seen
that.
camels a number of times in
Yeah.
my life, but I can't think of ever seeing a camel.
I've only seen them like at the
Yeah.
zoo.
And here I thought the most disgusting thing about a camel is that they spit.
Yeah, well, they spit
yeah.
maple syrup out of
Wow.
other places. And fun fact number 2, about 3% of the ice on the Antarctic is actually penguin piss.
How much?
3%.
No
3%.
way.
There's a lot of penguins.
So
down
penguin
there.
piss is
way.
clear or white?
3% of
Well, it's
trillions of tons? I don't know.
I don't
That's a
know.
lot of
I'm
piss.
not naming those. I
not
tend
so-
to believe everything
How much
I
of
read
it?
on
How
the
much of it
internet.
is from like polar bears?
I don't know. There's
Well, polar bears are on the other
penguins.
side. Yeah.
they're north, but
Okay, whatever.
yeah.
So they say maybe, I don't know, if I was a polar bear, I'd get me a fucking boat.
Hell yeah.
And I'd go down
There's
to
some
South
good
America and
eats.
eat every single penguin, right?
Pissing all over
Yeah.
the place.
Oh, yeah.
You know the
Come on,
the
polar
best
bear.
way to
You
catch
gotta-
a polar bear. You guys know what the best way to catch a polar bear
Bootstrap
is?
polar bears.
The best way to catch a polar bear is you cut a hole in the ice, and you put peas around the edge of the hole. When the polar bear goes to take a pee, you kick him in the ice hole.
All right. No. Yeah.
You should have had Derp tell us that.
Yeah, no, that would have
story
been,
on Saturday.
Yeah. Well,
Saturday was a hoot.
Speaking, did you
Saturday
guys
was
do
a
anything
hoot.
fun this weekend?
Well, yeah, I mopped.
Did you?
Yeah.
Good on you.
Yeah, that was nice.
yeah. No, I
Yeah, no, Gong Show. Remember
yeah,
Gong
we
Show?
did the Gong Show.
That was pretty exciting,
Yeah.
guys.
So
Yeah,
for
it
those
really
who
was.
haven't,
It really was. It
or
was
did,
gentlemen, I cannot thank you enough.
yes,
I really
I
can't.
had a blast.
Well done.
It was fun.
Well
I
done.
can't wait to do it again. You know, I think
Yeah, are you
I
kidding
think
me?
it was a good time.
Just a hoot.
Yeah.
Just a
Did
hoot.
anybody have a favorite act? I think we all probably
Jeez.
come up with the same one.
Yeah,
but-
it's definitely Winlar, man. I mean, he
Sure,
he
sure,
had
sure. It's
everybody
the best
just
bit. There's no doubt
doubled
about
over.
because it's just that's a pro bit.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And if I were a judge, man, that's not necessarily what I'm looking for at Gong Show, right? And God bless the guy rocked it.
Yeah.
I'm not besmirching him whatsoever.
Yeah.
But
He was definitely a
think
ringer
goofy
for
human tricks when I think Gong Show.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that's a talented bit.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not goofy.
It is,
at all.
yeah. It's well
no,
practiced,
I think
professional.
It's a million. I mean, that should be triple, quadruple, platinum. That's great.
this is one of those acts you definitely see on the Gong Show that always never get gonged.
Just slaves.
They never get
slaves every
gonged.
time.
Yeah.
No,
But
you
it's
can
definitely the
count on
type
it.
of act you see on the Gong Show. People coming out and singing songs on a ukulele or a small guitar of some sort.
Yeah, and I thought all the acts were great.
Yes. Oh,
even
yes.
even the stupid ones that were there intentionally to get gonged, I thought were just dynamite.
No, I thought they were great. And Cassandra, right?
Yeah.
Cassie,
Yeah.
did a great job.
She did fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And I think that people I think it's very good because I really like art to be challenging and having a big potpourri of talent like that is good because it's a little more challenging. The audience has to kind of grapple with it.
And I think we should definitely next time we should definitely be like, you realize this is a Gong Show and there's a possibility of you being gonged, and I think there was maybe one or two people that were not expecting to have that happen.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, Jamal definitely wasn't expecting to get gonged.
I didn't know Jamal got gonged. Did he get gonged?
Romeo.
Oh, man.
I was going to have to jump up and cut him because he was going on a little longer than the Gong Show should allow, but
Did we
good.
flash him a 5-minute or anything?
Yeah, not really.
So.
We should have given him a heads up and say, dude, you got 4 minutes, go. Whatever.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
Yeah, and then flash 2 at him or whatever. When
yeah, and he spent a lot of time.
That's the first time I've seen him live in a long time.
Yeah, it's the third time in 4 months or something.
And he's
for me,
his principal writer. Do you know if he has other writers or? Is it,
For Jamal, no, he writes his own stuff.
I don't know. It's a job, man. I think
Yeah.
he's doing fine.
Yeah, and I think Naomi, I wish I could have seen a little bit more of her act. I think because there was a bong involved, a large water pipe.
Large water
that
pipe.
she got gonged just because of that. A couple of our judges were sort of anti
but
smoking and drinking, I guess. So,
Yeah.
But I would have liked to see where that went because
I asked her what she was going to be doing. She's like, I was just going to be dancing with it.
Oh, nice.
It wasn't anything.
Which I don't know. I think I
I
don't
fully
know, because I
expected
know
her to take a
Naomi,
huge
I think
bong
it's
rip at the end
wonderful.
of it, but you know,
I was impressed by the length and girth of that water bong.
Sure.
the water
and
pipe.
Naomi's not necessarily one for ballroom dancing,
Yeah.
right? So for her to step way the fuck out of character or comfort zone or whatever that is, I think is great. And it's just kind of a bonkers act.
I was
It's just
expecting
so
the bed of nails kind of thing, but I'm okay with
I thought it was
whatever.
going to have something to do with body, that kind of daring type of body mod or whatever, right?
Is
that's great.
is
She just
acts-
did something wacky and obtuse and wacky, and that's fine. It's a goofy human trick.
Yeah.
Right? It's
That's perfect for the
Fuck,
Gong
I
Show.
love
I
that
just
shit, man. I
I think
do.
if we had known ahead of time, we could have said use something different.
Now, I just talked to a lady who can put a Twizzler up her nose and have it come out her mouth.
Gosh.
Right, dude?
I would,
But I want to see somebody do that. I don't want to do it myself.
I don't want to do it myself. I'm not sure I'd want to see it, but I'll allow just about anything. That doesn't,
the real question is, does she use red vines or Twizzlers?
I don't know. I bet it depends on what house she's in. Some
red
people
vines are the only way to go.
Yeah.
I
People
wouldn't
are
waste.
militant
I wouldn't
about
waste
that
a red
shit.
vine for that. I would say totally use the
one's smaller.
Twizzlers are the wax ones, and those are disgusting.
Kind of waxy.
I went to a party once where a guy was able to suck a condom up one nostril and bring it down the other, but that was because he did so much cocaine.
Oh, man, is that true?
Yeah,
that's
we watched
rough.
him do it.
What the fuck are they making cocaine? Man, well, it's 2 parts silicon.
It's got a little bit of fiberglass in there.
I don't know.
Man.
You know what's interesting? In high school, our health teacher told us that he was trying to dissuade some of the students from chewing tobacco. He says, they put little bits of fiberglass in that stuff, so it cuts into your gums and gets that stuff into your bloodstream faster.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's thinking, boys.
Yeah.
And nicotine's just very...
And it didn't deter any of them from chewing. They still had really gross-looking teeth.
So gross. So gross. It was a thing for mass.
Yeah. I thought the theater did really well. I thought Alan and Jess did a pretty good job.
Did a great job.
The lights and stuff.
Yeah. Hillary, Gentra.
Behind the bar.
The bar crew.
They were pretty busy. I didn't see the numbers they did,
wonderful.
but
it was wonderful.
Every time I looked over, there was a pretty good-sized crowd. Yeah. So... Yeah, and the judges had a blast with them. Marianne Riley, Romeo Nash himself, and the beautiful and wonderful Sarah, I thought did a great job.
Yeah.
Yes, they did. They really did.
And they
had fun. Yeah.
They all came up to me. It's like, when's the next one? When's the next one?
Nice. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it was, I saw Sarah posted something, I think, on Facebook about being a judge on the thing. And she had like 30 likes and all these comments. It's like, oh man, I wish I'd known.
Yeah,
like,
man.
We wish
if
you had
only
known
there's some type of social, say, media or something.
Yeah, we just got to get better at promoting.
I guess.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think when we have people who are going to be like guests on the show, or even be part of like an event we're doing, we should have them also promote. Hey, we're going to be on this. We're going to be doing that. This is when you're going to be able to hear it. And
Yeah, we did. We had it in the Renton Reporter. We had it on the Marquee.
Yeah, it was the wrong day in the Renton Reporter.
Well, it was until the end. I finally reached back out to him and said, "Okay, do you start?"
But still, I don't think
it was the wrong day with the right date. And then finally, 2 weeks out, it was totally the wrong date and day. Yeah. And then they finally, for the last week, they got it right.
It's not that hard, dude.
It's hard to look at a calendar and figure out the proper date and whatever, day and date.
We had it on the Facebooks. We did, So I mean, I don't know what the magic formula.
I think we should have probably started promoting it sooner than we did. Maybe
I don't know. Yeah, well, because at some point that
pre-sales.
Also just
Maybe we should do online sales next time.
Great idea. Jeez, I don't know. If anybody's a big enough sucker to fall for that shit, I'd love to do it. Plus, that would get us some working capital.
Yeah,
that's a great idea. Because I know, believe it or not, people, I mean, it's not cheap or easy to put on production.
Yeah. It's not super. The biggest cost we had. Send us money right now. The biggest cost was getting the T-shirts made for all the contestants. We sold a few, which was kind of nice. As well as the handouts, but we have some left over, so I think we need to do it again in 2023.
Yes,
because we can reuse the ones that we already ordered. For the next show, I think is brilliant. So November, December, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. But the crowd was great. They were lively. They were interacting. Like we mentioned, Matt was tossing out jokes.
Oh man, his jokes when he was sitting out in the crowd were way better than anything he did on stage. Wow. Great.
I was digging what he did on stage.
Don't get me wrong. I liked what he did on stage. I just think the stuff he had off stage was funnier.
I think he ran out of ideas on stage, or something with the setup on something was taking too long. So he walked up to kick the gong himself. It's like,
he was having trouble with one of his magic tricks.
Yeah, the trick didn't work.
No, it's all right. The fake stick, when he was pulling it out, it just expands. He was pushing it right towards Mike and I.
It was in 3D. It was totally cool.
Awesome. That was awesome. I had a blast. And everybody had a good time. So
I saw Insane Clown Posse with that kid.
No, he looked like he would go to an Insane.
That was great. It was great.
Yeah.
When was that?
Oh, it was a few years back.
And
yeah, no, it was a hoot, man.
Yeah, and the hayfields.
Oh man,
they
the
rocked
hayfields
it.
were
They
great.
rocked it. Oh yeah.
Yeah, just great all night, and they were great. They came up to do intermission. They came up after the show when everybody was leaving, and they were still giving it their all. There was like 5 people out still watching.
I only got one.
Professional and good sports.
I
Super good.
heard someone say one thing that was they couldn't hear when Ray was playing his harmonica, and they could barely hear him sing. So,
well, there was some
they didn't have monitors.
confounding issues with in the beginning before that. Some technical speak between the theater and them, and I kind of let them work it out. And
did it get fixed?
I don't know. It sounded like it did, but only till Alan got here. So.
Yeah, I think there was there would have been some feedback if he turned the mic up too much.
And what I learned was when like the Kennydales play, they send the vocals through their own amps instead of through the PA. So that might be better for next time. So
I don't know, and especially if we could, because I don't think they had monitors, right?
They
did not. No.
Yeah, so that's a thing.
Yeah, but they sounded great. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, because they're pros is the thing, right? So I mean, it would have been nice for them, but they're so professional as an outfit, right?
Yeah.
That they can, stuff like that's not gonna fuck them up, right? They're good at
you would think so.
Yeah, they're good at it.
Yeah, but overall, man, any favorite memories? What's everybody's favorite memory?
Memory of the show?
Yeah.
I mean, I liked all the interaction with the crowd. I thought, especially with him, he was so funny. But there was lots of other people that had funny things to say too, which I think added to the show. And
should we get a couple of plants and put them and have them in the audience? A couple of
hecklers, professional hecklers.
Get some comedians out there.
Our team hecklers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would be kind of funny. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you find them. Sure.
Well, definitely have Matt back as a heckler.
Yeah, no, that kid's great.
He was a good one.
Yeah, geez, favorite moments. I don't know, man. Falling out of my chair to
Winlar.
I'm telling you, it was unreal.
If you've not seen Winlar live, if you live in the greater Seattle area, you need to come to.
It's one of the best bits you've ever seen in your life.
Come to the local on Monday nights here in downtown Renton, which is a bar here on 3rd Avenue. It's
a good bit.
Monday nights at like 9:30 is when it starts. I know that's kind of messed up for a lot of people. A lot of people don't want to go out and go to a bar on a Monday night, but he's usually the first person up. So if you want to just see him and just take off afterwards, that's what a lot of people do, you know. But he does that song that we all like died laughing. I mean, you guys were falling out of your chair, but Romeo and Marianne were like what? and Romeo about fell out of his seat too.
Yeah, and I got feedback about him probably more than anybody, and everybody just thought he was terrific. So
yeah.
And he took second place, which ain't too shabby. He gets a trophy and a $50 gift card to Premier Meat Pies right here in beautiful Renton.
That's right. He was asking me what it was. It's a gift card for a local business, and you get a really cool looking trophy.
Yes, the horse's ass trophy, which is great.
Yes.
But I think on the next one we might look for the thumbs up.
Thumbs up is
dude, if we can get
I mean, I think they're
like
on premises.
The Facebook thumbs up, or just like the emoji thumbs up.
Todd's a label maker out and
oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Change it to first place, second place.
Click, 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 click.
Oh, you can put your name on it.
We'll print them up on the laser jet. They'll look so professional.
Yeah, so I am totally game. We could start planning soon and then figure out when a good opportunity might be. But I think probably before.
Well, let's talk to Bill and see what's scheduled.
I did.
Because what are we thinking about for the candidates forum? Is I guess we could talk about this.
That'd be like September.
Yeah, right.
So when's primary?
Probably the first Tuesday of November, right? So
no, that's election. When's primary? Is that primary? When do they do the primary here? Isn't that like August?
Couldn't tell you.
No, it wouldn't be August. I don't know. I have my voters pamphlet sitting on my kitchen table.
Yeah. I think right after the primaries, they'll weed it down a little bit. Do they weed down the city council in the primary?
I would think so.
They weed it down to two top two?
That would be my guess.
Yeah. Because otherwise, I think one of the seats has like 8 people running for it.
Yeah.
So that might get a little too...
that is a lot of people. Oh, so you would like to wait until after?
I think so.
All right. After the instant death or whatever they call it, sudden death.
Yeah,
sudden death.
Sudden death.
And I think that Did you mention that the?
No, the chamber
is doing something before.
I guess I did. You're right.
Right.
Yep.
So
yeah, you're right.
You better after. I don't know.
All right.
Be good.
But let's shoot for November. Sounds great.
Is Derp going to go around and ask people in the audience questions to ask the candidates? I think would be great.
I suppose. I mean, I wouldn't even know what to ask them.
No, they ask the questions. You just ask.
Yeah. Just bring it out to the audience members.
Yeah. We got a question from the audience.
You got a question for these guys?
Break into my house.
I understand what this is talking about.
That or we could just set up a podium.
I'm glad you asked that.
To one side, right?
Maybe. I'm not sure what the rules on the aisleway are, but I bet.
Yeah, I don't know if I necessarily want to do the derp thing with politicians. I think that would not be received well.
Mostly joking, but I kind of think it'd be fun.
Although insult the comic dog or triumph the insult comic dog or whatever, that guy is everywhere.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with anybody.
Yeah. I mean, it could lighten the mood a bit, but I don't know.
No, we're not.
I don't know enough about politics for
like
even me to even do that kind of stuff.
A little bit separate.
Yeah.
I'd be down for letting one of you guys,
subscribe though.
Do something with the puppet.
Every single one of those candidates, anybody who's ever voted, all of you people, all of you can subscribe. All of you,
yes,
all of you. It's easy.
Yeah. And there may be fireworks that night because we've got some, and I'm not going to mention any names, but there are some controversies in the city. It's city politics, so it's big enough to be, controversial, but it's small town enough to be personal. So it might be a little interesting. But I'm up for anything, man. And I don't know. What do we just set them all up in chairs up here? And
I would think like a semicircle or something, and then
we would just be chilling over here asking questions. Yeah.
Yeah, geez, it's worth a try.
Yeah, I'm game.
That's how I would do it because the sound will be good and the lighting's good, right? So it's just a matter of getting participation and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that is getting audience members to a mic, right? Or a mic to an audience member, right?
Yes. So either that's a podium where they walk up and ask questions,
or they can just stand up in their seat.
Or they can stand up in their seat. I mean, it's not that big of a theater where we couldn't.
I'll just walk dig towards the patrons.
Up in the balcony, back row.
What do you want?
Throw a T-shirt out.
Get a T-shirt cannon and shoot him in the face.
Something, yeah. See, this is the brainstorming, people. This is why.
You're not even
you don't
paying
get this
for
on
this.
regular podcast. You know what I mean? It's like you're seeing the inner workings of our minds over here. It's amazing.
That's all right. We'll get back on.
In 1,000 years, this will rebuild
civilization.
Then of course we'll I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that, but I brain fart right in the middle of it.
And then, meanwhile, back at the podcast.
Yes, Gong Show good.
Gong Show good.
Podcast.
Yeah, that was I can't tell you it was a party and it was fun. Yeah. It was work, but it was just a blast.
It was a blast. I really enjoyed it. I can't wait to do it again.
Yeah. So I think we'll get working on the next one. Yeah. For you guys, because it's all about you guys.
Yeah.
Well, sure. I mean, to some degree.
And our fun.
Yeah. It is fun for us. An outlet for artists, right?
Yeah.
So they got a way to just kind of get their yayas out, right?
Yeah. Should we set up like an online form for people to sign up for it? That way we can collect email addresses and phone numbers and stuff.
Yeah, we can do all that.
See, that's neat,
probably do the release form right online and all that stuff.
That's a great idea. Yeah.
And maybe if you're watching this and you own a business here in beautiful Renton and you want to sponsor it, happily take gift cards or coupons or whatever you got.
Sure.
Be great.
Good. Yeah.
And then we want to fill these friggin' seats. It only seats like 230.
We actually, and we didn't do too shabby for our first time getting people in here.
No,
I mean, it was. I think we had as many people here for the Gong Show as Jamal has for his Jamco comedy series. There might have been a little bit more, but
I think we had a bunch more than his last one. And no offense, Jamal.
Jamal does great with that. Maybe we can ask him pointers on like promotion and stuff. How he gets the word out there and stuff.
Yeah. All right. Gong
It's a
Show.
thought. I mean,
yeah, all good.
And I'm totally okay with like arresting people and then bringing them here as re-education.
Rehabilitation,
Gong Show,
making them perform for the Gong Show.
Everything gong, everything gong.
Oh my God.
We want you to do a tribute to Kiss.
But if not, fuck. I mean, come on, people. And that's the thing.
Who has a big tongue?
I've thrown a lot of parties, right? And sometimes people show, sometimes, But we had 55 paying customers, right? That's not terrible.
That's
I'm not mad
really
about that. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I'm not mad about it.
Something like that. Plus all the people that came. And there was a few that snuck in with their performing person that we didn't charge admission to. So,
all right.
All good. Yeah. All good.
It's like a service animal.
Yeah.
Emotional support
My
comedians.
personal assistant has far less rights than a service animal.
You gotta get your
you can speak to an animal the way you speak to a personal assistant.
Mike, it's called an emotional support extrovert.
Yeah. Nice.
All right, so Gong Show, look for it sometime this fall or early winter.
Jeez, I like it.
That's awesome, yes.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Let's jump into headlines, boys, because there's a lot of stuff going on in the world that we've kind of ignored because we've been so Gong Show happy. Have you guys heard the one about Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg?
Which one? There's a couple different ones. There's the fight that Musk's mom forbid him from doing.
Oh, that's cute.
And then there's the
he'd get choked the fuck out.
There's a new social media app called Threads.
Did you see the picture of Zuckerberg after he trained with a couple of UFC guys? Dude looks pretty ripped.
And he's into Taekwondo, man.
It's jiu-jitsu,
he's pretty ripped.
Wrap that dude up. But they're never going to do that. They're billionaires. They can't risk a slipped disc or some shit. Right. It's like, that's crazy.
The thing that cracked me up,
never let them do it ever.
The thing that cracked me up is Musk is like, I got one move that will finish the whole thing. Is I'll just lay on top of him and watch him flail.
I can completely evacuate my bowels at any moment. It's like a hippopotamus and shit.
I just eat a bunch of dairy like 30 minutes beforehand, and then
I don't know, dude. Man, we just shouldn't have systems which allow for the greediest among us, right? To hoard, right? Until you no longer need wealth to get things done. Right. If there was a time where we didn't actually need wealth, right, shit got done for the betterment of our species or whatever anyway, great. But until then, the hoarders have to stop, dude. It's not okay.
Yeah, I mean, you just look at what...
But that's a systemic problem.
The two of them could do together. Why don't they have a donate to charity, battle? See which one can donate more money to good causes than the other.
It's a donate to charity slap fight.
Set up different mechanisms, right? It's like, and because they were encouraged to back in the olden days, that's why we got like, at the Carnegie Associations and all these kinds of things, right? It's because there's a huge tax if you didn't do something with that wealth, right? So that wealth got put somewhere.
Yeah.
But the way wealth is counted now is different also, remember.
They should do one of those slap fights where, you like warm up the palm of your hand and you reach back and you just slap the ever piss out of somebody. And then the next person has to do it back to the person who slapped him first.
Yes.
They did that. I watched The Machine yesterday.
Nice.
That Burt Kreischer movie. And that's a scene in the movie. And I was like, that's fucking hilarious. I would love to see
It's a thing. That must be like a Soviet thing. I swear to God.
Slapping the tape out of your mouth.
Slapping.
What the fuck?
And it's not like these are like they're just walking up and just tapping you in the face. They fucking just pull all the way back.
No. But it's a sport.
Full force and just knock that guy to the ground slap. But still. Yeah.
Yeah, hilarious.
Or what we called keggers.
Right.
Just with vodka this time.
Vodka.
Give me the 18-ounce vodka.
Eventually.
Get the little tiny ones.
Yeah, and so as Todd mentioned, Zuckerberg and Instagram just came up with Threads, which is a Twitter-like platform. I don't know much about it.
I'm on it. It's essentially like the early days of Twitter, where Twitter has a bunch more features now than it did when it first started. So right now, the feed and everything looks just like Twitter, except for it says Threads. And
Elon's freaking out because he wants to sue Zuckerberg and Meta for infringing on.
Good luck.
Good luck with that. Yeah.
And so, is this something that Meta actually came up with, or did they acquire it? Was it an existing thing they acquired? Or?
I don't know.
I haven't looked into it. Honestly, I got.
I was never on Twitter.
I saw somebody posting about it on TikTok, and I was like, I'll check this out. I don't know anything about Threads. I never heard anything about it until like 3 days ago.
Yeah, something.
I did hear that once you sign up for it, if you cancel it, you have to cancel out your entire Instagram.
I'm not going to cancel out of it. You can disable it. You can. But I think that also disables your.
Maybe, and I bet
it's the same login.
To do whatever it wants to do as far as like retrieving information.
If you're already logged into Instagram, if you install the app on your phone, it will recognize you're logged in as Instagram.
Kind of feel like it's sort of like when U2 came out with that album that Apple put on whatever it was, the iPhone or something. You buy this iPhone or you sign up for Apple iTunes or something, you automatically get this album kind of a thing. Right. Kind of feel like that. Yeah. So, his numbers, the Thread numbers are through the roof, but I feel like it's almost like, let me just install
it. Had Instagram as a jumping board.
Yeah. It's like buying a computer and already having, Windows on it, and all the Windows shit that comes with it that you don't ever use. You don't really want, like Minesweeper. I don't want.
Yeah. Well, the thing that the thing that I like right now about Threads is that it's not filled with just super toxic people. There's not a bunch of bullshit on there. There's not a bunch of bots on there posting crap.
Well, I feel like Twitter is not long for this world. At least it's not going to be the king because we've got the right wing, we've got the Truth Social, which is taken away, which is Trump's thing,
and that's a clone of Twitter as well,
right?
Yeah.
So it's not like if he's going to sue anybody, he should sue them.
There's not as many right wingers as they think there is. It's not a 50-50 split on the planet.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So they're going to run out of customers much more quickly, I guess.
Sure, but there's people that go on there just to
most of it's bots anyway. Dude. Yeah. It's like it's one Russian computer talking to another one.
Has 5,000 accounts or 20,000 accounts or something like that. Yeah, and there's other ones too, right?
There's fucking Chad. You know what I mean? The new AI shit's going to be just inventing all sorts of fucking dog shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
You can show Charles. This is what Threads looks like. I'll go ahead and hand it down.
Well, yeah. Thank God there's memes anyway. I mean.
And if you scroll through, and it looks just like Twitter.
I'm looking at the Slimer picture. I'm like, why are they using Slimer for Threads?
But it's
Slimer. It's just,
and it's still like 140 characters.
Yeah, no, it's a little bit more than 140 because I think Twitter has 240 now, 260 or whatever it is.
Yeah, I never have.
And then. But yeah, your profile on Threads is connected to you can have it. It doesn't it's not required to, but you can have it connected to your Instagram. So if you make any changes to your Instagram profile, it automatically updates to your Threads.
Does either of you guys use Twitter at all?
I don't. I only used it for like those things where you have like automatically post this to Twitter. Sure, why not?
I think I signed up because I wanted to follow Devin Nunes's cow, which was a parody on ex-Congressman Devin Nunes out of California, who's a Trumpalite.
He's a rancher or some kind of shit? Or?
Yeah, and it's like he gets tax breaks because his family has a farm, but they don't. They have like the barest minimum amount of whatever they need to get the agricultural tax break or whatever. So somebody started an account called Devin Nunez's Cow, and they just make fun of him constantly. Well, he's no longer a congressman. I think he is on Trump's True Social. I think he runs that or something now. So anyway, I got cloned on Twitter. Somebody took over my Twitter account, hacked it, and took it over. And
I hope you changed your password for everything else.
I did, yeah. Okay. And I've got 2-factor authentication on Facebook and Instagram are the only two that I really use. So
yeah, I have that on my Google account as well.
Definitely recommend that, everybody.
Yes, it can be a pain in the ass, but it's better than having your account hijacked by some Chinese or Russian bots or whatever.
Yeah, a prince in Nigeria.
I've seen a lot of people's accounts getting taken over, and then next thing you know, they're posting a bunch of Bitcoin stuff.
Oh, bummer. Yeah. It's always Bitcoin,
or whatever the current the current NFT is.
That's how they get you.
Man.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Trump, Trump senator that's big time Trump fan, Tommy Tuberville. Do you know this guy from Alabama? He was a football coach for a long time.
Never heard of him.
Is he from Carolina or is he Alabama?
He's Alabama. And he was Trump's pick to be the senator down there, beat out a more moderate Republican, non-Trump Republican down there. Can we just call them Trumplicans? I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I call them, Trumplicans.
Yeah, so
or Trumplicants.
A few weeks ago, he was asked about white nationalism in the military when he was talking about U.S. military readiness. And he was asked about, should the military root out any white nationalists? So if I said white nationalist to you guys, what would your immediate thought be?
All the people with the flags off the back of their trucks.
Well, jeez. But no, white nationalist is a very specific thing. Right?
It is, right? It's a person that believes America should be a white nation, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Hence that's being a racist.
Yeah.
It's a nice way of saying Nazi.
But that also just says that they don't believe in a constitutional republic like ours.
Yeah.
Right? And ours in particular.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's specifically not that way now.
Yeah.
Right? Specifically.
So he was pushed on it, and he's like, oh, no, white nationalists aren't racist. Some of them are good people, blah, blah, blah.
Some of them.
So he was asked again this week, like 3 times he had a chance to go, okay, you know what? I looked at the definition of white nationalists, and I agree they should be rooted out. And he would not take it back. He would not, and he just kept, he was on CNN a couple nights ago, and I watched the interview, and he just could not bring himself to say, yes, I hate racism, but white nationalism is okay. And it's like, what can somebody slap this guy upside his head, because he's not getting, he's not smelling what the truth is, basically.
Well, or he is,
and he just
he's unapologetically racist. Right?
So he's finally and so Schumer and the Democrats have been pouncing on it, of course, and then there's been a few in his own party that are like, oh no, I can't speak for him, but no white nationalism. That's bad.
And he should get censored or whatever, because it's like you take an oath to uphold the Constitution. Right.
Yeah.
And I really do think that beliefs like that, I mean, they kind of counterdict that oath.
Yeah.
Right?
They absolutely do. Yeah.
Right? I would think.
Well, I think he came out last night and finally was like, oh, okay, that definition.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, can you be that stupid, or can you just be that?
Well,
yeah, they can.
Be slimy or whatever. I mean, he doesn't want to upset, because he knows. I mean, I don't know what his
he doesn't want to upset his base.
I don't know. Yeah, and maybe he's only winning by 50 votes. Right?
Yeah,
so
and they are the people that vote for him, because
but still, it's like it's not a hard thing to fucking back out of, and then
it's not.
You know what I mean? I don't.
And then go to your secret Klan.
People are really invested in their racism, though.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
people get invested in their hatred. They really do.
It emboldens all those people that want to fly those certain flags and hold rallies. And I mean, we had guys marching in the streets of South Carolina saying "Go home, Jews" or whatever it was. Remember,
the Jews will not replace.
Jews will not replace us. Yeah, it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Are you kidding me? In 2000 something.
Yeah.
No, because that's the thing. It is. I think the people, the frustrateds, right, are the easy ones to work with in that. Yeah. Right. You get them frustrated and just kind of directed / misdirected. Right. Yeah. It works every time. Right. And that way the power structure can remain. Blah 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 blah.
I think one of the things that's going on here is that they're confusing white nationalism for patriotism as well.
Oh, well, it's being, I think so. And it's just being stoked right now because they're easy to...
Because they're calling themselves patriots, but they're like nationalists.
Yeah, but that's right. I mean, because of course you do. Because that's a nice, easy, loaded word. Right. So if you can define yourself as a patriot, then those who oppose you are
not patriot.
Yeah. I don't know. That's pretty... I mean, that's not ungodly.
Like, I remember,
but we're better than that, and that's the cool thing about it, is that we can become better and better about it all, right? We are an amendable nation that, as our civilization progresses, right, we can progress, right?
Yeah.
And through rule of law, become a more just society. Doy.
Yeah.
Right? Because justice is a human construct anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, anyway. Absolutely. Well, speaking of the former reality TV star, Trump is trying to push his trial out till after the presidential election. Of course he is. I think he's realizing that his only saving grace is if that he can get elected to the presidency, he can pardon himself.
Or talk whoever is in there into pardoning him, right?
Well, in that way, too, that he'll control the DOJ, right?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And stop all the investigations.
Yeah, oh my God, he would totally
fire everybody.
First day.
Oh my God,
that would be great.
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I don't think there's a chance he's going to win. And if he alienates the other candidates, like if he really alienates DeSantis, right? It's like then he would kind of burn his own bridge.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, but I still think
I don't think
any
DeSantis would win either.
I don't think any one of them would pardon him. Anything coming in there with an R, except maybe like Chris Christie or Sununu, but I don't think either one of them have a chance.
No, to win the presidency?
Did you say
to win the presidency? Sununu?
Okay. I was going to make a Futurama joke
right?
there.
Yeah, New Hampshire.
Death by snoo.
Yeah, so, again, trying to get himself delay has been his modus operandi forever. But you just can't get him off the hook, man. You gotta, if you want any sense of true democracy, you've got to prosecute when people go against it.
Right?
Exactly.
That's how it fucking is, man. And if it's like, at least let it all come to light.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, there shouldn't be a protected class of people in the United States.
Yeah.
There just should not be a protected class. Right? Unless it's like, crippled midget children or some shit. You know what I mean?
Why they got to be little people?
You know what I mean, though? It's like, we're all equal under the law. Right? Yeah. And that's a different type of protection anyway, right?
Kind of off topic, but on topic. Oh. Did you, I saw on the news today that Clarence Thomas's law clerk received a shit ton of Venmo payments from high-powered right-wing attorneys.
Oh, man, it's so dirty. It's so fucking gross.
And they're all listed as party, CT party, Clarence Thomas Christmas party, all this stuff. But there was multiple, and I don't know how many. They didn't reveal how much, but they were able to go to Venmo and see, because if you don't put private, I think, on Venmo and you pay somebody, it actually shows up, and and they were able to capture that. Yeah. Now he's since gone back and deleted or hidden it. And he's got no comment this time.
Well, Venmo is kind of like a social media thing as well as a payment thing, because it will show you like all the payments that your friends list has paid to other people.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I get weird stuff on Venmo all the time.
And how come, right? Because this has been going on, I mean, we've been publicly talking about it for at least 90 days, right? Maybe 6 months in some instances, but now it's Alito on that fishing trip and all this other shit, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's like, where's the ethics list, right, by Roberts? Where's the Roberts Court? How come he hasn't said okay, right? Yeah. That since that gave a bad flavor, right, to this court. Yeah. Well, here's this new ethics thing. I'm going to need you guys to sign this,
right?
Because what we do in the Supreme Court echoes through our history as a nation,
right?
Right. I need to know you guys are all in it to win it,
right?
You know what I mean? Not a fucking word.
Not a word.
Not a word.
Not a word. Yeah, it was super disappointing.
Piece of shit. And during the, impeachment, of President Trump, it was like, man, Roberts, this is your legacy, dude.
Yeah.
What in the fuck? It's so weird. Because that's a good job, man. Yeah. Supreme Court Justice, that's a good job. Oh,
do you guys?
I'd take that job
in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Do you think DeSantis, completely screwing up the economy down there in Florida, is going to have any bearing on him getting votes for the presidency?
He died. He doesn't actually have. He just has to keep telling everybody that he hates the same people they do.
Right.
That's his whole platform.
Yeah, that's his whole shtick.
And how much socialism Florida absolutely is dependent upon. Right, federal socialism, dude. Yeah. All that hurricane relief, all that hundreds of billions of dollars, dude. That's our money, bro.
All the retired people down there.
The insurance that allows this giant building boom, which really has been the Florida economy, to be able to get people to move there. They've had this gigantic fucking building boom, and all the insurance allowing that to even fucking happen. That's all
gone.
And there's all the people that go to Florida for vacations and stuff are not going anymore because of the newer laws and stuff that have got.
Yeah, well, geez, I bet some. But even then, a tourist economy is nowhere near the retirement economy.
There was I don't remember.
They wanted people to retire down there. Right. That's the real money.
Yeah. I don't remember exactly what group it was, but there was a group that apparently that was going to do some sort of convention or something, and they bowed out at the last minute because of the anti-trans and anti-gay laws and stuff they've all got going on down there.
Fucking dime from me, dude. That dude's not getting a fucking thing from me.
Yeah, and
he's a dangerous human being.
Like you mentioned, Mike, the insurance companies are pulling out. Allstate, I think it is delayed. It's either Allstate or Farmers has decided to pull out of the state. We're not insuring anybody.
So are they going to have a Florida state-run insurance network then?
I don't know.
Are they going to have to use socialism to get them out of this pickle? Because the private sector won't take care of it?
I don't know. Right after the socialism bailed out the insurance companies because of the hurricanes, because they couldn't afford to pay out all the claims.
Oh, sure they could.
We all paid it out, right? And now they're bailing out and leaving all those homeowners down there screwed, right? And I think it's something like, in some areas, it's 4 times the cost of homeowners insurance, than anywhere else in the country. Sure. It's nuts. People are paying $5-6 grand a year for homeowners insurance.
Jeez.
I think mine is maybe $800 or $900, $1,000 at the most.
I remember I had to get a terrorism rider.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
For your business?
No, for my homeowners.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's like, fuck, somebody's going to blow up my building, dude. Like, what do you know that I don't, bro? Get Johnny Dollar on that shit, man.
He's living in your building. Holy
My neighborhood is a little sticky, but I sure like it.
No, it's nice. Holy crap, where are we?
We should just head back to Gong Show.
I think we're going to talk about the James, whatever his name is.
Oh, but real quick, Bank of America, aren't we glad we bailed out all those banks? So you guys still use banks, or are you back at credit unions? Or
I'm on a credit union.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed in my bank, but I
will never go to a bank again.
Right on. Do you have a recommendation for a credit union?
BCU is pretty good.
Yeah, Boeing Credit Union is amazing,
We also use USAA because we have military members, which have treated us pretty nicely. So,
all right.
Boeing's easy though. Boeing, and
you don't even have to be like a family member of an employee anymore. You just have to be a resident of Washington.
Yeah. If you work, live, or go to school in Washington, you can become a member.
Do they have a volunteer board?
I don't know if they do or not.
They don't.
Oh,
sure. Maybe. I'd be shocked.
I'd be shocked. Yeah. But Bank of America just got fined, and I have on here $100 million. I've also heard reports that's $250 million because they doubled fees on overdraft charges. Employees were opening credit card accounts without customers' consent and this is the same shit Wells Fargo did just a few years ago, and they got hit pretty hard. But how many times are we going to bail these too big to fail banks out, right? And then have them turn around and do shit like that? Well,
and why is it only a fine, right?
Yeah.
We need to switch up the regulatory systems, right? Because they've been way too teeter-tottered over to big business. Yeah, to whatever degree, right? Yeah. It's like you can sting them in all sorts of different ways, right?
Yeah.
But we just got to kind of regain that power.
Yeah. I mean, they would take a overdraft, which we've all been there, right? Your bank account runs low on money, you write a check, or you try to take money out or whatever. Yeah. They would send the same transaction through 2 or 3 times to double or triple up your fee.
Yeah. That's why I left that bank, because they did that to me.
Yeah. And then I think that they had some kind of bonus system for the employees, whoever signed up for a credit card account. So people would unknowingly be signed up for, Visa cards or whatever, so that the employees could make quotas and get bonuses and all that stuff.
Just predatory shit.
Yeah, and people were like, I don't have any Bank of America credit card accounts.
Do now, bro.
Now you do. I'll take it all in
cash. Don't get any of the benefits of it.
No.
I don't know. It's a drag. It's a drag.
Credit unions, way to go.
And I don't know. We need to have, because we haven't had robust regulatory systems for terribly long, right? In government at all.
Yeah.
Period. And it was all ruled by whim, right?
Right.
But regulatory systems have doubled the human lifespan. That's the regulatory systems did that, right? So we couldn't just be poisoned all the fucking time. Right. It's like standards for health and living,
food,
blah, blah, blah,
water,
blah, blah. Cities aren't burning down like they used to. You know what I mean? It's like, for crying out loud, dude. So we just need to make them robust again, right? And kind of, steer them towards the new century.
Yeah, and guess what? All that regulatory stuff is job creation.
Yeah, well, that too. Yeah. That sure can be.
Yeah.
We'll see.
And it's safety for everybody else. So.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember why we have safety seals on food and drugs and aspirin and
Tylenol? Tylenol poisonings or whatever it was?
Back in the early 80s, there was...
I remember the news article.
It changed to Halloween forever.
Was it Halloween, too?
I don't know, but I think it changed how people viewed it. You didn't get homemade stuff after that.
Yeah.
Everything was just prepackaged.
Yeah, that's when they started really pushing like the bite-sized candies and stuff, too.
And God bless them, each and every one. But but I remember homemade popcorn, fucking weird shit.
Yeah. I'll still eat your popcorn balls, Mrs. Berkowitz.
Totally. Oh, yes.
You ate Mr. Berkowitz popcorn balls?
Mrs. Berkowitz.
Okay. That's different.
Some Q-tips, Todd. No, don't put anything in your ears.
Yeah, I don't do that.
Don't
do that.
So the guy, they never truly found the person responsible. I think it was like 7 or 8 deaths.
I thought it was a lady wanted to kill her husband and wanted to mask the crime.
No.
That's what
maybe.
I always thought.
That's kind of what I thought, too, I think.
There was a guy named James Lewis whose daughter died following an operation because Johnson & Johnson made sutures that dissolved or broke before they were supposed to.
Oh, gee.
So and this was like 1974.
That's his villain origin story.
Yes, this is his origin story. So he ended up being accused of going after Tylenol, which was owned by Johnson & Johnson, by putting tainted pills in bottles of Tylenol all around Chicago area. I think it was
I
Chicago.
love that song, Tainted Pills. Wait, no, never mind.
So what happened was he went and sent letters to Johnson & Johnson saying, this will keep happening, pay me off kind of thing. So they tried to pay him and he got busted for blackmail, ended up going to prison for some time. Right. Gets out of prison, moves to Massachusetts with where his wife had gone, and they interviewed him over the years, but they never could pin it on him, and the sucker just died. I think he was 74.
So he might have just been like a copycat blackmailer or something.
Could be, but he was the most likely suspect that they had.
All right.
At the time.
But there just wasn't any like concrete evidence.
I don't think so. I mean, there's no fingerprints.
Yeah, for some reason I thought it was a lady. Maybe I just listened to an old radio program where that was the storyline or something.
Yeah. I remember a
lot of poisonings back in the 40s.
The Punisher comic book did a storyline. It was either that or Punisher War Journal. One of them did a storyline about that where he had to find the guy or whatever. I don't remember exactly what it was, but yeah, I mean, that's the reason we have the little foil seals and
on everything.
On everything. Yeah, anything consumable.
Yogurt,
right. But
I guess it's a freshness thing also, since everything's being shipped.
Still going on right now, though.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a trend like during the COVID pandemic where people were going in, taking the lids off of ice cream and licking it and then putting it back in the freezer and shit?
I'd be pissed.
Oh man, I would have really been upset if someone did that to me. You know what?
But how would you know? That's the thing.
You know what? Now that I wish I would have known this back 2 years ago. There was a time where I bought one of those little pints, just like the Ben and Jerry style size ice cream, and I bought one and it didn't have a seal on it. That was weird. Don't those usually come with like a plastic seal?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
somebody licked
now I kind of hope they do, because I don't recall. Right, I don't remember the last time I
that's
sat down.
Really gross.
Yeah,
even if they're not sick, that's
ice cream
fucking
sounds
gross.
good though. Some Haagen-Dazs or some shit.
Coffee, a little scoop of coffee and a scoop of chocolate.
Oh man, it's good.
Oh god,
nice.
So good.
Now I want ice cream. Thanks, guys.
Good. It is.
Yeah. Anyway, there's still stuff out there, folks. I don't think all of them come with the little plastic seal. Like, don't the store remember the square ones when we were a kid? You get the Neapolitan or whatever, but they would come in the square container. Do they still have those?
No,
that's.
I don't think so.
Those round containers for ice cream now.
It's all round. Yeah.
Actually, no, I take that back.
Like
they do. I think store brands are the only ones that have those.
Yeah.
That beats me. Yeah, Neapolitan.
We used to get the Neapolitan, and the first thing to go was the chocolate, right? And you would scoop all the way down.
Chocolate and strawberry.
And then you go for the strawberry, and then the vanilla would be left. And then be like, who ate all the fucking chocolate and didn't eat any of the vanilla?
So classic.
It's like, Mom, quit buying the Neapolitan.
Well, I think it was because there was always at least in my house, because I was the youngest of 5 kids, there was always some of us who preferred chocolate over vanilla, and others liked strawberry, so they would eat those bits.
Yeah, sure. Mom always got the Rocky Road.
That one too, or what was the one with pecans in it?
Rocky Road had like walnuts, mushrooms, right? Or mushrooms,
and marshmallow fluff,
mushrooms, or whatever. It's all good.
Yeah, yours had mushrooms in it.
Haight-Ashbury 30-wood flavors.
Oh, good, man.
That's why his ice cream was so awesome.
So James Lewis, Tylenol. If you're the guy,
time for that?
He did prison time for the blackmail stuff.
Gotcha.
But they never got him on the murder. But he was interviewed as recently as like 6 months ago. About it, or 9 months ago.
And he would just never cop to it.
Never cop to it. Always claimed, nope. I admitted to the blackmail scheme and all that. But
so it might have been a jealous one.
I don't know if it was him. Rotten hell,
right?
It's because it's a dick move. Random fucking killing is
never.
I mean, the murder thing is a dick move. I mean, we can pretty much stay on board with that. But random shit. It's like, fuck. There's enough random bad in the world. Don't add to it. It's like,
well, speaking of random bad,
hey.
Grammys are now going to allow AI-generated music to be available to win awards, Grammy Awards. A human does have to be the primary programmer of it, but you can sit back. I don't know. I guess you could sit back and say, I want a little jazz trumpet with a little rock and roll, cymbals or something. I don't make this song and play with it and stuff. But you can use AI and come up with a Grammy award-winning song.
As Chuck D once so perfectly stated, gives a fuck about a goddamn Grammy? Giving it to AI. Yeah.
Right. It is a popularity contest, right?
Oh, man.
Kind of lost all respect when Jethro Tull beat Metallica out for the best heavy metal award back in the 80s.
I'm still like...
Still reeling from that one.
Yeah. A tear, an involuntary tear every time that memory comes by.
Oh, Ian, we still love you.
Yeah, but it's apples and oranges, right? It's so silly. It's so silly.
Yeah. It's a popularity contest more than anything.
But what do you do?
But if you guys want to give us a Grammy for best podcast,
does anybody know how this kind of can an AI program write code to make another program?
Yes.
Right. So is eventually these types of programs just going to put all these coder kids right out of their jobs? Is that going to happen?
It's possible. I mean, it still requires somebody to set it up.
It does now, but pretty soon we're all going to be hanging out in the basement, trying to avoid the machines.
Yeah, come on, John Connor. Do me a solid. That too.
Man.
Yeah. It was the creepy movie with Joaquin Phoenix and the voice of...
She?
Is that what that is? Yeah. Because that's like an AI, right?
Right. He falls in love with or something.
Yeah.
He falls in love with Siri, essentially,
Oh, it's rough.
That is too funny.
I don't. He's coming out in. He's going to be Napoleon.
In an
upcoming movie.
And then I saw where somebody underneath had made a comment about he's the wrong actor to portray the father of their country. I'm all. Is he really the father
of their country? Yeah.
I'm going to go with no. Yeah. No, he's not.
Yeah. He had an opportunity, right after the French Revolution, to give in to the proletariat demands and make something good, but. He decided to conquer the world.
Yeah. Once an emperor, always an emperor. They don't often, like to share everything.
And the Napoleonic Wars is like one area of history that I'm a little foggy on.
Fuck, then let's just make shit up.
Yeah.
It's way better. Yeah, it's like UFOs and cowboys and shit.
Yeah. He was pissed that he was only 3 feet tall.
Yeah, didn't you? You had a factoid.
I did.
A few weeks
he was
back.
average height for a guy.
Yeah.
But when you are not the winner in the historical battles,
sure.
To the winner go the spoils and the history.
And
apparently,
his story.
His story. That's right.
Isn't that the name of Michael Jackson's best of album?
Yeah, it is actually. Well, speaking of movies, what's up with Indiana Jones? And the
Did you see that?
I did. I actually really enjoyed it. But it did feel like it was lacking something. There was lots of action. There was, it was clearly a body double, but still,
Are there any bazoongas?
I think the biggest problem, and somebody else posted this, that apparently if Spielberg had been directing it, it would have been more about him and Marion, and not him and his goddaughter.
Yeah, Marion, what's her name?
Ravenwood is the character name anyway.
Kate, what's her name? The actress,
she's
the real actor. Yeah,
Andy, the torch is going out.
Yeah, she actually was interviewed about it, and I guess she shows up in a brief scene at the end.
Yeah, she's in at the end.
But at the beginning of it, when asked to act in it, she thought that she was going to play more of an integral role. In the story.
It would have been better if she had been.
But is that on the? Is that editing, or is that just they changed the story?
I think they changed the story because Spielberg bailed out on directing, and they brought in somebody else, and they kind of changed things up or whatever. But
Stanley Kubrick. They brought in Angela Lansbury
as Harrison Ford, as Shia LaBeouf, as Harrison Ford, as Dr. Indiana.
Well, the thing is about the movie is it looks like an Indiana Jones film, but it doesn't feel like an Indiana Jones film. You know what I mean? There's elements that were there, but it didn't feel the same as. Even the Crystal Skull movie was more of an Indiana Jones film, I think.
I watched it once. That's the only one that I've only watched once.
Right.
I've watched it many times, and it doesn't get any better.
They're calling this one a flop buster.
Did it make its money back?
It is nowhere near its money back.
It fails where it fails even harder than the Crystal Skull, as far as I'm concerned, because there are parts of it that don't feel like an Indiana Jones film.
Yeah, and I read an article here, 10 reasons why it might be a flopbuster, and one of the big ones that I can remember was that we're all guys of a certain age that remember the first ones, the 80s ones, and have fond memories of it. But it's been so far and few between on the movies that kids today, like my daughter, if I said Indiana Jones, she'd be like,
what?
No, and at the time, right, just like with Star Wars New Hope, the special effects were so big and kind of new on that scale and stuff like that, right? It's like, and it's hard to do that now because anybody can CGI, right? It's like,
And are you guys planning on ever watching this movie?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
I'm probably going to go to the theater.
I won't spoil it then.
There's sooner rather.
There's a scene in the movie where it's like, oh, that's cool. I wish they'd do more of that.
And then they refuse to do more of it.
Well, and the thing is like, I think they didn't want to like copy other movies that did similar things where there was multiples of the one thing that happened, and I'm like, if you would have done it at least once or twice more, it would have made the movie that much more entertaining, because that sequence was really cool. Maybe 2 or 3 times would have been good, not just once. So
I might try to do like a Sunday matinee.
It's worth paying. It really is worth paying.
I want to see it. It's indie, man.
I mean,
I want to see it on
big screen, big loud.
Like I said,
who did end up directing?
Mangold, I think is his name.
Huh.
I don't know, and I'm not sure if I watched anything else he's done. But
it was until he.
I mean,
but it cost $200 million to make that movie.
Plus,
did it really?
270, 290.
Oh,
because
that's $1 for every man, woman, and child in these United States.
What it is the reason why I think it costs so much is all the CG and all the computer effects they used. They used Industrial Light and Magic used their entire archive footage of everything that he did for Lucasfilm to make him look 30 years old or 40 years old.
It is a special effects groundbreaker.
Yes.
Right?
I mean,
so like the previous, I would say the first one especially was a special effects.
It was
in Industrial Light and Magic, right? Star Wars New Hope, that same era. So that's what I kind of think of them as, the pioneers.
I will say this.
In new tech.
They did better with the de-aging on this movie than they did for Luke Skywalker and The Mandalorian.
That's good.
Well, I would hope. Yeah, because the budget should be.
It was painful. It was obvious it was de-aged, but it wasn't as painful as Luke Skywalker.
Yeah,
I still loved every single possible second of that whole.
I did too, but I thought it could have looked more realistic for me.
And this is just every time.
And I realize how stupid that sounds.
Can we just move past the Skywalkers?
Yes, please.
Let's just move past the Skywalkers.
Although now they're doing
either before or after, I don't care.
They're talking about doing a Rey movie.
It's fine.
They're doing a series of Rey movies, as I understand it.
I don't know. There's so much other. It's limited.
So much to explore.
The thing is, we are getting other content from Star Wars than the Skywalkers, and I'm probably one of the few people that want to see more of the Skywalkers. I don't care if it's Mark Hamill, but I would love to see what happened after Jedi and before.
Oh, geez, like the Timothy Zahn stuff. I think it's coming, right? Don't we have?
I don't know.
I thought we got to see. Admiral Thrawn at the last.
There's a still image that was posted yesterday of Admiral Thrawn.
So that's the Timothy Zahn box, but that can get into like Mara Jade and a bunch of other like fucking
I think
shit that I don't know if they're gonna do.
I don't think they're gonna be having like the twins, the solo twins, because that's not a thing right now. Unless
they did other things.
Unless they they come in as like great grandchildren or whatever of Han and Leia, or grandkids of theirs rather.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm really stoked that Indiana Jones has been a part of our lives for 40 years.
I'm
delighted about that.
Yeah. I think they should have done this 10 years ago. I think they should have they should have done it like within 4 years after the last one.
Yeah,
and it would have been a much bigger thing, and people still would have been like, "Where's Shia? Why is he not in this?" But there's also people like myself who are like, "I'm glad he's not in it because that character was stupid." Yeah, I say go see it in theaters. I mean, if you don't want to spend a lot of money, hit a matinee, but it's worth seeing in theaters, I think. There's lots of parts that were really good. Other parts could have been better, but it was still pretty good.
Did you laugh?
Yeah. I laughed. I cried. I was mad a couple times, but you know.
What about a reboot without Harrison Ford?
I'm all for it.
Done?
I would absolutely go see it.
But keeping it as Indiana Jones or just switching the characters, I don't know how I feel about that.
I think
sometimes I'm okay with it, and other times it bothers me.
I think if we get a good story, it doesn't matter who's playing Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Sure.
What if they did like Angela Lansbury?
No, I mean, the guy who played Solo in the side.
What if they grabbed that cat and put him in before the events of
The Last Crusade?
Yeah. Before the events.
Because he's like in his 30s, or
I would think he was in his 30s in Raiders, and didn't Temple of Doom, wasn't that just a few years?
Because he was 35 in Star Wars.
So I mean,
Harrison Ford himself. He
was 35 in Star Wars.
Character. All right. Yeah. In A New Hope, he was 35.
Or 30 or 35. Yeah. He was around 30 something.
So mature.
Yeah, I would definitely love to see right out of college.
Like
Indiana
before he
Jones
becomes a professor. I would
goes on his very first archaeological dig and gets into some kind of trouble or whatever.
We kind of already have that.
Yeah,
it's on Disney Plus. It's called the Adventures of Young Indiana Jones.
But how old is he in that?
In the first couple episodes, he's like 12, and then he ages as the series goes on. And at one point, he's like in his like late teens, early 20s.
Yeah, I'm thinking 25, 30.
Yeah, no, you should probably watch that. Then you dig the shit out of it. Each episode is like an hour and a half.
And the Indiana Jones and the Nudist Colony.
But no, actually,
I watched that.
James Bond.
I remember watching that when I was on TV.
Pause it.
1968.
And the version that's available on Disney Plus is like an hour and a half each episode. But back when the show first came out, it was like an hour episode. Or actually,
I feel
30
like I remember
minute
when
episode.
that came out, but then I get that and Young Sherlock Holmes mixed up in my brain, I think.
Well, they came out right about the same time.
Okay.
So, yeah. And like I haven't rewatched it yet, but it's on Disney Plus. It's been advertised a lot lately.
Well, there's been a lot of big blockbusters or wannabe blockbusters this year. I think the Transformers movie, the Flash movie, Indiana
Transformers
Jones
was amazing.
I don't know. Did Fast X, did that perform well?
I don't know how well it went, how well it did, but I was not happy with the ending. I literally thought it was the last of the movies. I didn't realize there was one more coming because it was a wide open ending.
Is this with the John Cena?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, John Cena is in it, and The Rock does make an appearance.
Right on.
Sure kept Vin Diesel in houses.
Sure. I did. I like the Riddick films to some degree.
I like the Riddick. I wish he would have done more of those.
And he did a video game, and I can't remember the house that did it, but it was the Escape from Butcher Bay video game, and it was excellent. And he did the voiceover stuff, and it was a really fun. It was a really hard game, but it was a really fun game.
Yeah, I think they were talking about doing another Riddick. Where he has taken control of the Death Dealers on the last one, whatever that crazy race is. And
King,
so he
King Conan
cruises around with them, but then loses favor and bails out and goes on some other adventure kind of thing. But yeah, I thought it was a cool character.
Yeah, it's a hoot.
Yeah.
And that's somebody's, I can't remember his name now, but it's somebody's project. He's the writer, producer, director for the first one, and then at least writer for the second one.
Because the first one was where they crash landed on the planet.
And then he's the only one.
And the second one was that he was in some sort of prison, right? Because it was like a prequel, I think. Or maybe I'm remembering a different movie.
Yeah, the only two I can think of is Pitch Black.
Yeah, Pitch Black.
And then the one with the death dealers.
Yeah.
Chronicles of Riddick.
Yeah, Chronicles of Riddick is the one I'm talking about,
Yeah.
Yeah, he escapes from some bounty hunters at the beginning, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then deals with the death dealers.
Yeah.
Hooks up with the Muslim cat, Brian, what's his name?
I don't know.
The actor. God, well-known actor. Was in Pitch Black. And was in
that guy. I know who you mean.
It was announced today that Nathan Fillion is going to be playing Green Lantern in the future DCU movies. He's going to be playing Guy Gardner.
Is he too old?
Yeah, he's not a good Guy Gardner.
He's played Hal Jordan in the animation stuff.
I don't know. He'd make a great Hal Jordan.
Yeah,
because Guy Gardner's dumb and an asshole.
I'm kind of over Guy Gardner. I think I'm hoping
Justice League Europe. That shouldn't even be that's not even canon. If
David, Keith David, you guys.
Oh, Keith David.
What about Keith David?
He was in Pitch Black, and he was in.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
The Thing, jeez,
dude, he was the voice of Goliath on the Disney's Gargoyles cartoon.
Jeez, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, what about the thing that kind of got relaunched with that one guy from Avatar? He's in it. Maybe it's 2013 or something. They redid The Thing. I haven't seen
The Thing. I
did watch it. That was a prequel.
Okay.
Did he also like was in like the Clash of the Titans remake too?
Joel Edgerton was, that guy. Yeah. Oh yeah, I think 1 and 2.
Yeah. They did a pretty good job with the prequel, and I'm glad it was a prequel and not a remake. But basically, it story revolves around the Norwegian research base.
Yeah, where the dog is running.
And then where the dog is running from, and the helicopter, and they're trying to catch the dog. Yeah, and then it just jumps right into the McCready story. Yeah,
so rough. Yeah. Knowing what's coming is worse.
You're all fucked.
Oh man, it's rough. It's a really well done movie.
And they also Ryan Reynolds leaked a photo before other people could leak a low resolution photo, but he released a photo of him and Hugh Jackman from Deadpool 3.
Yeah, was that real?
It was real.
With the yellow.
Yes.
Yeah. I wonder how we contextually in that movie. I wonder what that means. I think it's great.
My friend Egypt from the Comic Dads, he has a theory that the Deadpool 3 is going to be Deadpool kills. And it's going to be he's going to kill the Fox mutant universe. So like all the X-Men and the Fantastic Four, Elektra, Ben Affleck as Daredevil, all the Fox owned X-Men characters.
I think that's funny as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't we interview Egypt at SummerCon?
We did, yeah. We should. I want to get him back on here, but he typically works at this time of day, so we would have to do it on a different day.
Yeah, he's a nice young man.
Yeah.
Well, right on, guys. Summer movies, go see them. Don't worry about what the critics say. Don't worry about how much money a movie's made. If it's something you love, go see it. Get some popcorn.
That's how I am.
Soda. If it sucks, then it sucks. But at least you got to see an experience.
Plus, it's hot out, and it's nice just to escape for a minute.
Yeah.
Go somewhere dark.
I once had someone say, "Why do you see movies during the summer? That's like a wintertime thing." I was like, "What are you talking about? I'm trying to escape the heat. I don't want to be in the heat."
Oh, no, it's hot, man.
Getting into a theater for 2.5 hours is nice cool down, get out of the sun.
Yeah. Gong Show, because I was wearing my Gong Show t-shirt underneath my...
Oh, man, you must have been boiling.
Oh, I'm telling you. And so I was going to take off, because I was going to open up the show by playing music.
And that was great.
And I thought that I would just dress nice, because, and then I was going to take that off so we'd all match in our t-shirts. But I had pitted. Like I've never pitted. It looked like it was a side splitter T-shirt, but it was my sweat. It was amazing. It's a giant salt ring now. Yeah. It looks like the Great Salt Lake.
Oh, Jesus.
No, it was insane. So I'm like, nope, this stays on. Thanks. There you go.
That's why you kept it on. That makes sense.
Yeah, no, dude, that was so much fun. We're doing it again. We already talked about that. Yeah. Who's got something besides that's positive to end on, or something new you saw?
Well, I went and saw Tom Price, Desert Classic. Tom Price from the U-Men and Gas Huffer, etc. So he's
Where was that?
That was at Slim's.
Okay.
And They were on. I've seen him a number of times, and it's he and Don Blackstone, who they've been playing together for a long time.
Yeah,
they both share guitar.
I went to the car show here in Renton on Sunday.
Oh, yeah, no, that was a good one. That was a good one. Yeah. Hey, you want to expand on that,
dude? There were some great looking cars. I saw a Superbird, I think. I saw quite a few like Mustangs and a lot of Dodges, and I saw 3 separate DeLoreans, one of which had a trailer attached to it that looked like the front end of a DeLorean.
Nice.
And it had a bunch of Seahawks, and had a bunch of Seahawks stickers and like pinstriping on it. And it had a green and blue light bar on top.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of cars, I started watching a show, actually finished it because I think it's only 5 or 6 episodes, but it's Robert Downey Jr.'s Dream Cars on Max.
I've been thinking about watching that.
Over the years, being a man of wealth and means, he has been able to collect cars throughout his career and his lifetime. But they were all like already either all original or they were rebuilt. But they're all internal combustion engines. So he wanted to do something because he started a foundation, and I forget what it is, something about footprints, but he wanted to convert his cars, his dream cars, into eco-friendly cars because he has this organization and he wants to bring attention to it. But so he ended up converting, I think it's, if there's 5 episodes, 1 car an episode, 5 or 6 cars, into some kind of eco-friendly version of itself.
Didn't he give one to Chris Evans, Captain America?
No, not on
the show. Evans actually talked about it on an interview where he was given a car from RDJ.
I have no idea.
Oh, that's neat. And not necessarily electrified then, but
not EVs.
He does an electrified one. He does a hybrid one. He does a biodiesel vehicle, and he takes a car that had a shitty gas engine that was just a gas hog that offered little power, and he replaced it with a very, very fuel efficient 4-cylinder engine, but doubled the horsepower because the modern motors, and most of the engines that he took, like the diesel ones and stuff, were all harvested, recycled from cars that had been damaged or whatever. So and then the interesting thing about the show is not only is it a car show where they're fixing up the car and they're doing this stuff, but he brings in the scientists to talk about the backstory, the scientifical stuff about the electric motor, and they describe how it works and all this stuff in a very layman term.
Have either of you guys been behind a vehicle that was biodiesel?
It smells like French fries.
It does. Yeah. It totally smells like French fries, like fresh French fries, not like the dirty grease trap.
Yeah. Wow, any French fries welcome.
I'm just saying. I'm talking about like when you walk into a place that has like grease food and it smells like a 5-month-old grease trap.
Yeah.
Versus like fresh fries. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Big difference.
Yeah. No,
but Downey Jr., he's charming and he's funny. Yeah. Some of his jokes don't land, and some of them feel like he's trying too hard. But he does stuff on military bases. He talks about what the U.S. military is doing for readiness and doing hybrid and EV vehicles and stuff like that. So it's really interesting, and the cars are cool.
Right on.
The cars are cool, and the guys. I will say that one of the cars, I was not happy that he did what he did to it, just because it was pristinely 100% original, and you're like, oh fuck, man, as a purist, that should maybe not be driven all the time because it is a gas guzzler, but at least in a museum, man, because it's his car and he can do what the F he wants to do with it.
What was it?
65 Corvette convertible, all original, all numbers matching, original paint, original interior, everything original. He repainted it, he changed the interior, he put in was that one of the electric? Yes, that was one of the electric motors that he threw in there. But beautiful car, and it was beautiful afterwards. It just was different. It wasn't like,
Sure. Yeah. And there's a couple of years back, I discovered a show. I was watching like free streaming stuff, like through, I think it was either Tubi or it was through Pluto, one of the two. And there was a show that was on Discovery, I guess 10 years ago, called Vegas Rat Rods, where they take like beat up old vehicles and they put a giant diesel engine into them, and they trick them out, but they look like they've been sitting in the desert for God knows how many years.
Total rat rod.
The show's all about rat rods. And they look rusted out, but they are like pristine. They're made to look like they're derelict and whatnot.
Yeah,
and I think that show's on Discovery Plus. If you guys have never seen it, I recommend checking it out.
I'm all for taking one that's already derelict and keeping it original, but taking a car and sanding it down.
Well, no, it's not like they're taking a brand new car. They're taking like cars that are
already been in the desert.
They don't run, or they're a project that got abandoned, and then they just amplify and make the derelict of what it looks like just a little cooler, and then they add their own flavor to it, which is one of the things I liked about that show.
Yeah. Downey definitely has a paint scheme that you'll notice. They're bright colors, but they're also
let me guess. Is it red and
no, it's
silver?
Not about the color. It's more about the type of paint that's used and just kind of the bold choices and stuff, which is all good.
Is he doing any of the wrench turning?
No,
he's a host, I think.
No,
of the show.
But he brings out like,
and they're his cars, right?
Oh yeah. And he like meets with this cat that has created the most expensive EV production car. It's like a $2 million car. And he gets to drive it, and you see him driving around in it. It's just, puts Tesla to shame, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful automobile. And then he's like, I could see this as an everyday driver if I was friggin' insane, because it's a $2 million car, right?
There's two of them on the planet.
No, but he meets with everybody and they discuss it, and they do the fun test drives afterwards. They don't show a shit ton of wrench turning, but they do show the guys like trying to fit the engines in, because that's the biggest challenge, right? Is how to figure out how to convert this thing.
A few years back, there was I was going through like this, like I wanted to see if maybe someone's ever turned like a muscle car into like an EV. I did a search, and I found one. I want to say it was like a Roadrunner, or maybe it was a Challenger. But they took the engine out of a Tesla, wherever the car was, the newest of the Teslas at the time. They took the engine out of that and put it into this Mopar. I was like, that's really cool, but if it doesn't sound like Mopar, it's just not
a different animal.
I mean,
just like when they first put like jet turbines onto boats and shit.
The hydroplanes.
It ain't the same. It's like, dude, it's insane is what it is. But
but you know, I mean, it was ungodly fast. It was
it's unreal.
Unreal fast. And then because I was curious, does anybody make a thing that makes your car sound like something else? And there is a guy out there who makes these sound things. You can plug this into your computer, your car's computer,
it's a new ringtone,
and it essentially changes the sound of the engine. It literally it changes the muffler sound of your car.
Sound like Pantera.
it took
got a mouth for the war. You'll see what war is for. Sorry, I had a moment.
But that was, I mean, I thought that was, okay, that's cool. I would love to be able to turn my Civic into a fucking, like, charger.
They actually had a segment on the show where they were talking about composers that were working, and I think it was BMW or something. They were working with BMW on their electric cars to give the car different sounds and stuff, and it was kind of cool. A little segment,
they're really quiet.
Like, attach a speaker with an MP3 player that has random sounds on it.
Yeah, the most coolest thing I thought on the whole thing was that they brought in this mushroom expert that has a company that makes that grows mushrooms for the psyllium, right?
Of course he does.
And they're able to put it into a machine that turns it into leather, basically.
Oh, sure.
So you have this mushroom. So they actually wrapped all the seats in the interior, and it's all mushroom. And they didn't tell the guys that were refinished. They just said, "Man, this is nice material, and it's all velour, and it's all these cool colors and all this stuff." And they're like, "Yeah, it's mushroom, dude. It's mushroom based. It's not cow based." And so he gave the numbers on, this car by wrapping it in this type of leather, this mushroom leather, saved X amount of water and carbon and all that stuff, because we're not having to grow the cows to get to it. And that shit fucking grows in like days, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
They showed how they're growing it, and they grow them in these little pots, and you can see it takes like 3 days, and then the whole side of it turns white, and they pull it out and they harvest it and they put it in blah blah blah. So it was really fascinating, the stuff that we could be doing as humans to reduce some of this stuff, right? Just small steps.
And it's not plastic, so that's the thing I'm noticing here.
That's totally organic, and
stepping away from these older technologies, right? To some degree.
All right.
Well, I think that's it for episode 30, boys.
Well done, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yes.
We'll come back and do our bonus round, which this week is our top 5 best summer memories. And that could be anything from a friggin' movie release, or a song, or a feeling, or, the smell of steaks on the grill, speaking of leather. Could be anything, right? So we'll come back and go to r-townpodcast.com and become a member, and you will get this content as well as a bunch of other stuff.
Yes.
So do it now.
Right.
Do it
and
now.
Until next
Come on.
week.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Bye.
Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. And if you think this episode is worth $1 or $5, the boys would love to have it. Please go to ourtownpod.store for merch or to donate now. For less than a cup of coffee, you can also join the website in the member-only area for exclusive bonus content, blogs, and more. It's just $3 a month or $30 a year. Thank you for listening to this production of Our Town Podcast Extraordinaire.